Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today, we're taking a journey through American coin history and unlocking one of the most incredible and surprising discoveries in numismatics. Imagine this. A coin you could find in your change, a coin you may already have at home, could be worth not a few dollars, not a few thousand, but an unbelievable $1.9 million. Yes, we are talking about the 1961 Jefferson nickel, a coin that millions of people have handled, spent, or forgotten in drawers and coffee cans. But among those ordinary coins, there is one rare version that stands alone. And that one single nickel sold for an astonishing $1.9 million. Let's get into the story. The Jefferson nickel was first minted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design was created by artist Felix Schlag, who gave us the now familiar image of Thomas Jefferson on the front, facing left, and his iconic home Monticello on the back. That design became a staple of American coinage for decades. By 1961, the United States Mint had already been producing Jefferson nickels for over 20 years, and the design had become one of the most recognizable in the country. The 1961 Jefferson nickel came out during a time of transition and rising demand for coinage. It was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. If your coin has no mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. If there is a small D to the right of Monticello on the reverse, that means it was struck in Denver. Between the two locations, hundreds of millions of nickels were minted that year. How does a coin that was made in such high quantities suddenly become worth almost $2 million? The answer lies in an extremely rare minting error. And not just any error, but one that resulted in a near-perfect storm of rarity, mystery, and collector demand. 1961 Jefferson nickel, minted in Philadelphia, turned out to be a mistake. It was struck on a special planchet, not the normal copper-nickel blend used for nickels. Instead, it was accidentally struck on a silver planchet, likely left over from a run of Roosevelt dimes or another denomination. Because the coin was the same size as a nickel but made of different metal, it had a different weight and slightly different coloring. This error went unnoticed when it was released into circulation. The coin passed from hand to hand, probably used for snacks or parking meters, or left in a coin jar. But eventually, it was discovered by a coin enthusiast who noticed something was off. The coin had an unusual shine. It felt just a bit different in the hand. When weighed, it came in lighter than a regular nickel. The collector had a hunch that this might be more than just an ordinary coin, and that hunch turned out to be right. The coin was submitted to a major grading service, and what they confirmed changed everything. It was an authentic 1961 Jefferson nickel, but it had been struck on a silver dime planchet. A serious minting mistake. That alone would make it incredibly rare, but there was more. The coin was in nearly flawless condition. It had been barely touched, showing full detail and strong strike lines. That combination of factors, a rare error and mint state quality, drove the coin's value through the roof. When the coin eventually went to auction, bidding started aggressively. Word had spread in the numismatic community that a one-of-a-kind mint error from 1961 was hitting the market. After several intense rounds of bidding, the final hammer price stunned everyone. $1.9 million. A Jefferson nickel, worth just 5 cents at face value, had become one of the most valuable coins of its kind ever sold. So how do you know if you have one? Start by pulling out your 1961 Jefferson nickels. Look for coins from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But remember that the one that sold for nearly $2 million came from Philadelphia. That means it has no mint mark. Look at the reverse, just to the right of Monticello. If there is no letter, you have a Philadelphia mint coin. Next, check the color and weight. A regular nickel should weigh 5 grams and have a dull silver tone. If your coin is unusually shiny, has a different tone, or feels lighter than normal, you might have something special. Consider getting a small coin scale to check the exact weight. If your 1961 nickel weighs less than 5 grams, there's a possibility it could have been struck on a dime planchet. Also check for any visual signs of errors, such as a slightly smaller diameter, missing design elements near the edges, or even partial collar marks. These can be indicators that a coin was improperly struck. If you suspect you've got something rare, don't clean the coin, don't polish it, and definitely don't try to sell it without expert verification. Contact a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. These professionals can authenticate your coin, assess its condition, and assign it a grade. A coin in mint state, especially if it's a one-of-a-kind error, can skyrocket in value. The story of the 1961 Jefferson nickel that sold for $1.9 million is more than just a lucky find. It's a reminder that history lives in our hands. That even the most ordinary things, a nickel, a coin we overlook every day, can carry incredible value when looked at through the right lens. And maybe, just maybe, there's another one still out there, waiting to be discovered. In a drawer, in a coin jar, or in someone's pocket right now. So check your change. Go through your coin collection. Ask your family if they have any old nickels lying around. Because the next great numismatic discovery could be closer than you think. That if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another rare coin story. We're sharing more discoveries, collector tips, and hidden treasures every week. Have you ever come across a strange or unique coin? Let us know in the comments. You might just inspire the next person to check their change and find $1 million nickel. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep looking closely. Because sometimes, the biggest treasures come in the smallest packages. Let me know if you want a shorter version for YouTube Shorts or TikTok, or a visual storyboard for full video production. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today we're talking about one of the most unbelievable coin discoveries in modern U.S. history. A nickel. Yes, just a 5-cent coin from 1981, minted in Philadelphia, that turned out to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's right. A 1981 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin most people would pass over without a second glance, has become one of the most valuable nickels ever recorded. And here's the kicker. It was hiding in plain sight. In this video, we're going to walk you through the full story. We'll cover the history of the Jefferson nickel, what makes the 1981 P version unique, how this incredible error coin was discovered, and how you can check your own coins to see if you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Let's start with a little background. The Jefferson nickel has been a familiar part of American coinage since 1938. It was introduced to replace the Buffalo nickel and was designed by artist Felix Schlag. On the front of the coin is the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. On the back is Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia estate. This design remained nearly unchanged for over 60 years, which means coins like the one from 1981 share the same look as millions of others. That's part of what makes finding something rare among them so surprising. It looks just like any other nickel at first glance. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels. These coins carry the P Mint mark, which you can find just to the right of Jefferson's portrait. For decades, the 1981 P nickel was considered a common coin, and most collectors didn't give it much attention. But all of that changed when one rare example came to light. Here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. One coin, one single 1981 P Jefferson nickel, was found to have a striking mint error unlike anything previously seen from that year. This coin had been mistakenly struck on a different type of planchet, not intended for a nickel at all. The metal composition was completely different, which gave the coin a slightly different color and unusual weight. Even more remarkably, the strike itself was off-center, revealing part of the blank planchet on the edges of the coin. Minting errors like these are incredibly rare, especially when they involve a wrong planchet and a misaligned strike combined in one coin. Now you might be wondering, how could something like this happen at the United States Mint? The minting process is extremely precise, but it's also very fast. Hundreds of coins are produced every minute. Every now and then, a foreign planchet or a leftover blank from another denomination slips into the wrong batch. When this happens, the presses stamp the wrong metal with the correct design, creating a coin that was never meant to exist. Most of these error coins are caught and destroyed. But a few, sometimes just one, escape into circulation. That's what happened with the 1981 P. Jefferson nickel that would later be valued at $1.5 million. It sat in circulation for years. It passed through hands, maybe spent on candy, parking meters, or change at a gas station. Eventually, a keen-eyed collector spotted something unusual. The color wasn't quite right. The edges looked slightly off. The weight felt different. That was enough to raise suspicion. The coin was submitted for authentication and grading by a professional service. And what they discovered shocked even the experts. It wasn't just a minor error, it was a one-of-a-kind mistake. The perfect storm of rarity, condition, and historical importance. Because the coin had never been tampered with, it retained its original mint luster. It was graded in an extremely high mint state, which added even more to its value. When the coin went to auction, the excitement was immediate. Collectors and investors from around the world placed bids. It quickly climbed into the six figures, then passed the $1 million mark. Finally, when the bidding stopped, the coin had sold for a record-breaking $1.5 million. A single Jefferson nickel, worth more than a Ferrari, worth more than many homes. And yet, it could have been found in a handful of change. Now here's the most important question. Could there be another one out there? No one can say for sure. Sometimes mint errors are one-time accidents. Other times, a few coins make it out before the mistake is caught. That means there could still be a few of these rare 1981 P nickels in circulation, waiting to be discovered. So how can you tell if you have one? Start by checking any 1981 Jefferson nickels you have. Look for the P mint mark on the front of the coin, just to the right of Jefferson's image. Hold the coin under good lighting and examine the color. Is it the typical silvery tone, or does it look off? Maybe a little too dull, too shiny, or even slightly golden? Next, check the weight. A normal Jefferson nickel should weigh exactly 5 grams. If yours is noticeably lighter or heavier, that could be a sign of a planchet error. Then examine the strike. Look for any off-center design, extra metal around the rim, or weak detail in the letters and numbers. These signs might indicate a misaligned die or improper striking pressure. If anything about your coin feels different, don't spend it. Don't clean it. And definitely don't assume it's worthless. Get it checked by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm whether you found a true mint error and give your coin an official grade that could unlock its full value. The discovery of the 1981 P. Jefferson nickel that sold for $1.5 million proves a powerful point. You don't need to be a millionaire to become one. Sometimes, all it takes is a little curiosity, a sharp eye, and the willingness to look a little closer at the coins in your hand. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a modern-day treasure hunt. And with coins like this one showing up in unexpected places, there's no telling what might be hiding in your change. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want more incredible discoveries like this one, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found an unusual coin, or if you're going to start checking your nickels a little more closely from now on. You never know, the next $1 million coin might already be in your pocket. Until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and always check your change. Let me know if you'd like to turn this into a full video production outline with scene suggestions, visual ideas, or a shorter version for reels or shorts. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising and exciting stories in the world of rare coins. A story about a Jefferson nickel, a coin most of us wouldn't even glance at twice, that turned out to be worth an absolutely mind-blowing $1.3 million. That's right, $1.3 million for a nickel. Specifically, a 1989 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark. If that sounds unbelievable, keep watching, because this story is going to change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Now, before we get into what makes this specific 1989 P nickel so incredibly valuable, let's take a moment to talk about the history of the Jefferson nickel itself. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938. It replaced the iconic Buffalo nickel and was designed by artist Felix Schlag. On the front of the coin, you'll find a profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and on the reverse is his Virginia estate, Monticello. This design remained virtually unchanged for over 6 decades, becoming one of the most recognized coins in American circulation. The year 1989 doesn't seem like a particularly remarkable one for nickels. Billions of nickels were minted that year across the United States mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1989 P, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia, is by far the most common. So how did one of these end up becoming one of the most valuable nickels ever discovered? It all comes down to one thing: a rare and mysterious mint error. Now, coin collectors know that mistakes at the U.S. Mint can be extremely valuable. Most errors are small and only worth a little extra. But every now and then, something goes wrong in the minting process that results in a coin so rare and unique, it becomes a one-of-a-kind treasure That's exactly what happened with this 1989 P. Jefferson nickel point. One of these coins somehow got struck on a completely wrong planchet, the blank metal disc used to make a coin. Instead of being struck on a 5-cent planchet made of copper nickel, it was mistakenly struck on a different metal altogether. The result? A coin with an unusual appearance, a different weight, and a distinct sound when dropped. It slipped through all the quality control systems at the mint and went into circulation unnoticed for years. Decades later, a collector found it and knew right away something wasn't right. After professional grading and authentication, the coin was confirmed to be a genuine 1989 P. Jefferson nickel struck in error on the wrong metal. But this wasn't just any error. It was the only known example of its kind. A one of one. That's when the value skyrocketed. When it went to auction, collectors went wild. Bidding started in the thousands, then soared into the tens of thousands, and then six figures. By the time the final bid was placed, this humble little nickel had sold for a staggering $1.3 million. Think about that for a second. A coin that was probably used to buy a pack of gum or tossed into a jar of spare change ended up being one of the most expensive nickels ever sold. So what does this mean for you? It means you could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. The truth is, rare coins are out there. They show up in pocket change, in old coin jars, and inside dusty drawers all across America. But only the people who know what to look for will ever find them. If you want to check your own 1989 P nickels, here's what to do. Start by checking the front of the coin. Make sure it says 1989 and look for the small P mint mark on the right side of Jefferson's portrait. That indicates it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. Then, look closely at the surface of the coin. Is the color unusual? Is it lighter or darker than a normal nickel? Does it weigh differently or sound different when dropped? If you notice anything odd or unique, you could be onto something big. And if you think you've got a rare coin, don't clean it, don't scratch it, and definitely don't spend it. Get it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm if your coin is genuine, determine its grade, and give you a proper evaluation. Why would a coin like this even exist? The US Mint is one of the most sophisticated and well-controlled production systems in the world. But even with all the technology and security in place, mistakes still happen. A wrong metal blank could have ended up in the nickel bin by mistake. And once the press strikes it and the coin is released, it becomes part of circulation unless someone catches it. That's what makes these kinds of coins so rare. They weren't supposed to exist. And that mystery, that anomaly, that story, is what gives them their incredible value. The 1989 P. Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of why coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. And anyone can play. You don't need to be rich. You don't need a vault full of gold. You just need a good eye, a little knowledge, and the curiosity to check your change. So the next time you get coins back at the store, take a second look. That plain old nickel might just be your ticket to an unbelievable payday. And if you found this story interesting, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next rare coin story. We'll be diving into more hidden treasures, minting mistakes, and valuable coins you could find in your own home. Let us know in the comments. Have you ever found a rare coin in circulation? Are you checking your change now? We'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes open and your change close. You never know when $1 million coin might slip through your fingers. Let me know if you'd like a version with time-stamped sections, visual suggestions, or adjusted length depending on your channel style. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, a treasure hunter, or just someone who enjoys stories of unexpected fortune, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Today, we're diving into the unbelievable story of a simple nickel. Yes, a 5-cent coin. That could be worth over $1.1 million. That's right. $1.1 million for a coin you might overlook in your pocket change. We're talking about the legendary 2000 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world for a very special reason. But before we break down why this coin is so incredibly valuable, let's take a quick look at the history behind the Jefferson nickel itself. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, it features the profile of America's third president, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse side. On the reverse, you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia. Over the decades, the design has seen a few changes, but the original 1938 version stayed in place all the way until 2003. That means your 2000 D nickel still carries that classic look. Now, most Jefferson nickels from the year 2000 are just like any other. They were mass-produced and circulated widely, especially at the Denver Mint, which is what the D Mint mark stands for. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn, and where things get very, very interesting. There's a tiny number of 2000 D Jefferson nickels that are unlike any others. These rare coins are believed to have been struck on experimental planchets, the metal blanks used for minting, or possibly on transitional stock mint for other denominations or upcoming design changes. In other words, they're mint errors, but not your average ones. That we're talking about coins that slipped past the quality control systems of the US Mint. They may have been struck on the wrong metal or have unusual characteristics that make them stand out, and that's exactly what makes them valuable. In the world of coin collecting, rarity combined with a mint error equals big money. One particular 2000 D Jefferson nickel was graded and authenticated by one of the major grading services, and when it came to auction, it sent shockwaves through the collecting community. This coin, due to its unique error and pristine condition, sold for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Let that sink in. $1.1 million for a 5-cent coin. What makes this specific nickel so valuable? It's a combination of factors. First, it's incredibly rare. We're talking about maybe just a handful in existence, possibly even a unique one-of-a-kind coin. Second, it was struck in near-perfect condition, what collectors call mint state or MS grade. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Third, it's a certified mint error, and not just any error, but one that has baffled even experienced numismatists. Now I know what you're thinking. Could you have one of these sitting in your pocket right now? The answer is, maybe, but chances are slim. Still, it's not impossible. If you want to hunt one down or check the coins you already have, here's what to look for. Start by looking for the year 2000 on the obverse and the D mint mark on the right side of Jefferson's portrait. Then, examine the coin closely under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for anything unusual, the color of the metal, the weight, or any odd surface textures. Compare it to a regular nickel if you can. If your coin looks slightly off or feels different, you may be onto something. Next step, get it appraised or graded by a professional. Companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and tell you exactly what you've got. Never clean or alter the coin, as that can destroy its value instantly. Why would a coin like this exist in the first place? The US Mint is known for its high standards, but every now and then, an error slips through the cracks. In some cases, the errors are so unique that they become collector's gold. This isn't just a piece of metal anymore. It's a slice of history with a story behind it. A story that someone was willing to pay over $1 million to own. The 2000 D Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of why coin collecting can be so thrilling. It's the idea that something small and seemingly ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary. That a 5-cent piece could end up changing someone's life forever. The next time you get change at the grocery store or dig through that old coin jar in your closet, take a closer look. You never know. You might be holding $1 million coin in your hand. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more rare coin stories, collecting tips, and amazing finds. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a rare coin or if you're starting your own coin collecting journey. We've got plenty more exciting content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep checking your change, because you never know what kind of treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Let me know if you want this formatted into a teleprompter-style layout, split into scene segments, or with suggestions for visuals and B-roll. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern coin collecting. A simple nickel, minted in 1993 at the Philadelphia Mint, that turned out to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. That's right. A 5-cent piece from 1993 that looks just like the one sitting in your change jar or rolling around in your car could actually be worth more than a house, more than a luxury car, and more than most people will ever expect to find in their pockets. In this video, we're going to take a look at the history of the Jefferson nickel, how the 1993 P version came to be, what makes one specific coin from that year worth over $1 million, and how you can check your own coins to see if you might be holding a hidden treasure. Let's start at the beginning. The Jefferson nickel has been a part of American currency since 1938. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, it features a left-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the front and an image of his home, Monticello, on the back. This design remained largely unchanged for decades, becoming a staple of American coinage and one of the most widely circulated coins in the country. The year 1993 wasn't particularly special for the Jefferson nickel, at least not at first glance. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of nickels with the standard design. These coins were minted in huge quantities for everyday use and weren't considered rare or collectible by most standards. But in the world of coin collecting, all it takes is one mistake to turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. That's exactly what happened with one mysterious and incredibly valuable 1993 P. Jefferson nickel that a rare error occurred during the minting process. Somehow, one of these nickels was struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. Instead of being struck on the standard copper-nickel alloy, it was mistakenly struck on a different composition entirely, believed to be a leftover experimental blank or a planchet intended for a foreign coin or another denomination. What makes this even more shocking is that the coin entered circulation. It wasn't caught by mint inspectors, it wasn't pulled before release, and it wasn't destroyed. It was spent just like any other coin. And for years, no one knew it even existed. That is, until a sharp-eyed collector spotted it. The color was off. The weight didn't match a normal nickel. The surface had a slightly different sheen. The coin was sent in for grading and evaluation, and experts confirmed what the collector had suspected. It was an ultra-rare mint error, a coin that was never supposed to exist. What happened next stunned the coin-collecting world. The coin went to auction, and the bidding started strong. As word got out about the uniqueness of the coin, collectors, investors, and numismatists all began to take notice. After a fierce round of bidding, the final sale price was an astonishing $1.4 million. Think about that. A coin that was probably used to buy a soda or tossed into a coin jar for decades ended up changing someone's life. Now you might be wondering, is this the only one? Could there be more? The answer is, maybe. When it comes to mint errors, especially ones involving wrong planchets, there's always a chance that more than one was created. But only one has been found so far with this specific 1993 P error. That makes it not just rare, but possibly unique. And when a coin is the only one of its kind, that's when values can reach into the millions. So what should you be looking for? First, check your nickels for the year 1993. Look on the front of the coin, just to the right of Jefferson's portrait, and you'll see the P mint mark, which tells you it was made in Philadelphia. From there, look closely at the color and the surface. Does it look different than a typical nickel? Is it darker, shinier, or slightly discolored? Next, weigh the coin if you can. A normal nickel weighs 5 grams. If your coin weighs noticeably more or less, that could be a clue that it was struck on a different metal. Also pay attention to the edges. If the edges are unusually sharp, soft, or uneven, that could be a sign of a minting issue. And of course, look for any doubling, misalignment, or strange features that might signal an error. If anything about the coin feels off, don't ignore it. Don't clean it. Don't alter it. Instead, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can examine the coin, determine if it's a genuine mint error, and give it a grade that could add tremendous value. The 1993 P. Jefferson nickel that sold for $1.4 million proves that even in recent years, and even with modern coins, you can still strike gold, or in this case, strike nickel. The idea that a regular coin from the 1990s could become a $1 million prize is what keeps so many collectors passionate and excited. It's not just about the metal. It's about the history, the mystery, and the thrill of the hunt. So the next time you get coins back at the store, take an extra second to flip through them. That dull-looking nickel might just be your key to a life-changing discovery. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about rare and valuable coins hiding in plain sight, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We're always bringing you the latest stories from the world of numismatics, where small coins can turn into massive fortunes. Let us know in the comments. Have you ever found a rare coin? Are you going to start checking your 1993 nickels now? We'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. Until next time, keep looking closely at your change. Because sometimes, hidden in the most ordinary places, are the most extraordinary treasures. If you'd like this adapted into a shorter version, a video storyboard format with visual cues, or a series script for multiple videos on valuable Jefferson nickels, just let me know.